You know how Voight always says you can't let emotions cloud your judgment? Well, this episode of Chicago PD challenges that completely. Because in Season 13, Episode 4, Root Cause, we see that sometimes it's the personal connections, the ghosts we try to bury, that end up revealing who we really are. And for Voight, that truth might be catching up to him faster than ever. So let's dive into this episode, packed with mystery, trauma, and one of the most tragic father-son stories Chicago PD has told in years. And hey, before we get into it, let me know down below. Do you think Voight is finally starting to break under the weight of his past? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Things start off simple enough. Voight's due for weapons training, and so is Imani. She's still proving herself as the new addition to intelligence. And the two of them heading out together gives us this subtle mentor and student energy. But it's interrupted almost immediately when Imani's landlord drama spills out in public, showing how chaotic her life is outside the badge. It's such a small moment, but it humanizes her. And then there's Trudy, offering to help Imani out, casually mentioning she's moved 22 times. Classic Platt. A nice sprinkle of humor before the darkness ahead. But as soon as they step outside, that calm disappears. Because there it is, a yellow envelope on Voight's SUV, with a photo of a young boy lying in a hospital bed. No note, no explanation, just a haunting image. And when Imani starts asking questions, Voight does what Voight always does, shuts down. But that silence says everything. Before they can process it, a robbery call comes in. A man beaten, his wife traumatized, describing a suspect in a red jacket who apologized after attacking them. Right away, something feels off. Another call comes through, another robbery, another victim. Only this time, the suspect kidnaps a woman, drops her off at an urgent care, and disappears. What's bizarre is, it almost looks like he's trying to help her. That contradiction sets the tone for the entire episode. Violence mixed with guilt, cruelty mixed with remorse. When the woman doesn't survive, the team finally IDs their guy. Gary, a loner with a daughter, no social presence, and a father who happens to own a big trucking company. Ruzek recognizes the name. This isn't just some random criminal. It's someone with family power and connections, and that makes the hunt personal. They hit the father's mansion with a warrant. Raymond, the dad, is cold, calculated, and strangely unbothered. He claims Gary's behavior stems from his addict girlfriend, Sage, immediately shifting blame. And when they find drugs in Gary's room, it almost feels too easy, too rehearsed. Meanwhile, Voight quietly brings Trudy into the fold about that mysterious envelope, still refusing to share the photo's meaning. You can feel something heavy brewing there. Maybe guilt, maybe regret, maybe a ghost from Voight's past that refuses to stay buried. Then comes one of the most gripping sequences of the episode, Voight and Imani infiltrating an AA meeting to find Sage. Imani goes full undercover, disheveled, desperate, and raw. She nails the act so convincingly that Voight can't hide his admiration. But when he later asks how she pulled that off so well, her answer cuts deep. I used to go to those meetings looking for my sister. That line changes everything. It's not just a case for her. It's personal too. Once Sage is found, everything spirals. She finally breaks and admits Gary was abusive, not just to her, but to his victims. The violence and the hand injuries all mirror his own trauma. She even says Gary used to talk about wanting to get things out of his head. When they finally track him down, it's too late. The officer who spotted him doesn't wait for backup. Gary attacks. Voight follows a trail of blood through a kitchen, only to find Gary cornered, broken, and delusional. He's terrified of his father, repeating, "I'm not a monster. He made me this way." And before anyone can stop him, Gary ends it himself. A horrifying, self-inflicted act that no one saw coming. It's tragic. But what comes next might be even worse. Voight and Imani deliver the news to Raymond, who shows no emotion. Not grief, not shock, just annoyance. When Voight mentions Gary's final words, Raymond shuts down completely. He doesn't even want his son's body. And the way he dismisses his granddaughter coldly, almost cruelly, is enough to make anyone's stomach turn. Voight sees it too. He can't prove anything, but he knows the evil didn't start with Gary. It's inherited, learned, passed down. And maybe that's the real root cause. As the episode closes, Voight puts an alert out on Raymond, quietly vowing to keep an eye on that little girl. Because he knows what happens when men like Raymond are left unchecked. And that yellow envelope? Still unanswered. Still haunting. This episode isn't just another case. It's a reflection of Voight himself. the ghosts of his past, the sins he's buried, and the question of whether justice can ever heal a damaged soul. But what do you think? Is that photo connected to Voight's past? Maybe even his own family? Drop your theories in the comments. And if you're loving this deep dive style breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe, because next week's episode looks like it's about to turn Voight's world upside down.